Hello, friends. My name is Brian Chu and my incredible wife, Melissa. We're so happy to be here with you today. And we've been married 17 years, but we want to share a very pivotal time in our marriage where we started to slowly drift apart in our marriage.
Yeah, and I think what we experienced was something common that a lot of couples fall into. It's the trap of just going through the motions and living in the present without forward thinking, and as a result, just trying to survive the day. And so let me paint the picture for us. At the time, we had three small kids at home, 3, 5, and 7. So right there, there's a little bit of crazy town. I was pursuing a lucrative real estate business, and as a result, to help supplement that, we had hired a nanny to help with the kids while I was working. Brian was in his formative years of the initial set of our ministry. Therefore, he was working more than ever and traveling overseas often and always. And so a common scene in our house was Brian was gone, I'm working, and I'm at my computer, and the kids are tugging on my leg, and I'm just shushing them away. Not now. Give me 5 more minutes. And the Lord reminded me of something that I said to our nanny. I was kidding in the moment, but there's always a little bit of truth when you kid. And I said to her, "You are raising our kids better than I am." And it wasn't until months later when we took a pause to reflect on our marriage where the Lord reminded me of that and rebuked me and said, "I did not give those kids to your nanny to raise. I gave them to you and Brian to raise." And so he started to download a glimpse of where we were headed. And that was, I was pretty successful at real estate. I was making a lot of money, and Brian's ministry had taken off and he was traveling more than ever. But you know what that looked like? 2 totally separate lives and 2 worlds apart.
So I think where God got my attention was I started to complain about you. I started to complain about the kids, and I internalized. And what most men do, I didn't communicate. And I remember God got my attention, and he said, the problem is not with you and the kids. The problem is with me. So I repented very quickly, and I came home, and I told you, I said, "Melissa, we need to talk." I said, God's got my attention. I've not been the husband and the father I'm supposed to be. And that started our dialogue and start setting us back on the right path.
Yeah, and let me just pause there for a moment. Here's the thing that's so deceiving. To outsiders, our life looked great. And even to us, if you had asked us, our life looked great. Because here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with the wife working. It's not a problem to hire outside help with the kids. And there's certainly nothing wrong with a man pursuing his passion and his purpose. All of those things are good things. They're not bad. But for us, without the direction and knowing where we were headed, it was not what God intended for us, and we were traveling 2 different paths. This is the power of the pause. Knowing where your destination is, and then establishing the things that you need to do to propel you towards that destination. So let me just circle back and what this whole aha moment meant for our family. I quit my job. I fired the nanny, and I joined forces with Brian full-time in ministry, back to our first love, back to our purpose and calling together as a couple. And so here's the deal. That was pretty drastic. It doesn't have to be that drastic for you. If you stop, if you pause, if you establish your destination and then check in and course correct as often as you need to. If you're doing that often, those corrections become minor little tweaks. They don't have to be major and drastic like they were for us. But the point is to stay on track and to shift your marriage from simply surviving to thriving, because that's what God wants for you.
So I'm so thankful that God got our attention, and we started to communicate. We sought wise counsel, and God helped put us back on the right path. And if he did it for us, he can do it for you as well.